we send off information, we send off energy, and we do impact others around us. And we also receive, and it's what we do with that. But sometimes our signal can be a little static, like it's got some static in there. So we got to clear that signal. We're a little clogged in certain areas. Okay, so we got to clear that out. There's different levels. That's why I say holistic wellness. Okay, and I'm a growth guide about growth here. And if you were planting the seed in the ground and you saw it was getting a little stagnant, then you're going to figure out what nutrients does it need. Does it need more sunlight? Do I need to move it somewhere else? What is it? So you got to learn about that. And that's the self-discovery journey. Yourself, this being that you are. So we're going to journey to learn ourselves so that we can show up as our fullest selves in this world and make the impact that we want to make. Okay? So that's what I'm about, just sharing my personal side with this habit challenge, because I'm doing this myself. I don't just talk about this information. I live it. I continue to learn. I continue to grow myself. I love it. This is what we do here. I always say shine on, because we want to keep shining bright. I want to update you all on what's going on. If you're new here, I've been doing a 90-day habit challenge. I am on my second month. So 90 days, that's 3 months. I'm on my second month. If you've been following along, every Wednesday I get on live and chat with you all. I call it Wednesday Wins. So we talk about what went right. And of course we want to improve and adjust where we need to. So we'll talk about those things too. So you can go back and check that. It's under the live tab on YouTube. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base, check in with you all, see how y'all are doing if you're doing the habit challenge yourself, and also show you what I'm changing in my life. So my first month, it's really just about tracking behaviors and patterns, seeing what things kind of trigger me or make me respond in a certain way, so I can see my own personal behaviors. I can see the story I'm telling myself and kind of find where those roadblocks are, those things that are kind of keeping me stuck. I always say the glass ceiling, it's glass, you can't see it, but you can feel it. And so when we're hitting that point, what is it that's keeping us stuck? And so the second 30 days, I'm upping a lot of the things I was doing, because now that I'm consistent, now that I've figured out some things, figured out some kinks, I'm upping it. So as far as, for me, my 90 days is about my gut health, about rebuilding it, killing some of those parasites, and then building a good microbiome, a healthier one in my body, because that affects so many things. And at the end of these 90 days, I will show you whatever progress that I have. Mainly for me, it involves my skin. And a lot of times we'll look at our skin and try and put something on the outside to help. And our skin is an organ and it does absorb things. So it is important on what you're putting on your skin. But there's also the inside that affects that. And if we're not doing deep cleanses at least once a year, that stuff builds up and our toxins build up, our lymphatic system, okay, that removes the toxins, that purifies and all this other stuff that pushes it through your body. If that stuff is sluggish, if our liver is sluggish, you know, there's different aspects to it, then a lot of that's going to be stuck in our body, stagnant. It's going to be sitting there. If we're not digesting our food properly, if we're not letting it out properly, you know, you have to let all these toxins, all that extra waste out. But if it's building up over time, you may not see it with your eyes. You may not even necessarily physically feel it all the time, although eventually some symptoms will come up, but you may see it on your skin. You may feel it with your energy, like it says, so your emotions, all those things. So that's why I'm working on my gut health, because it affects so many parts of our body. We cannot absorb the vitamins that's needed to process in our body to send correct signals to our mind. And then we're trying to figure out why we're thinking a certain way and why this always happens. And you notice those loops, but then nothing's working. Sometimes it could just be the signal that's being sent, being blocked, misinterpreted. That's why I also talk about nervous system regulation, because that's foundational. But a level of nervous system regulation is our body being able to absorb the nutrients it needs to tell our body that we are safe. But if it's not, then we are deficient. Now we're starving of something, like our body needs something and it's not getting it. And now our body's just not in the right flow, the right rhythm, the right alignment. Okay, so it just makes things a bit more difficult. So this is just a deeper level of that nervous system regulation, a different area that we can focus on. So that's what I'm doing for my 90 days. That's my main thing. So I've switched out of some supplements and herbs, and I'm doing more of my herbal tea. And then the next 30 days, I'm going to change that up a little bit, just small tweaks here and there. Of course, whole foods, so that I can get the nutrients. And then again, the herbs and things like that will kill parasites, get the biofilm out, and we're gonna flush the toxins out so that we can establish a new microbiome. Okay, so that's for me. Like I said, I've been doing a push-up challenge on TikTok. That gets me moving physically. Not my main goal, but it was something to be consistent on with TikTok, something to get me moving my body again a little bit. And I've put on some weight. I don't necessarily care about the number on the scale. It's how I feel. And when I look in the mirror, do I feel good about that? Energy wise, like there's so many levels to the physical fitness side of things that it doesn't have to be about the number on the scale. I'm not trying to lose weight. Of course, I would like to cut by summertime. That's a different thing that I'll get into later. But for me, it's more of the gut. The gut will help later with all the other stuff, and just moving my body. So I was in the push-up challenge. It's like a good 20 to 30 second song where I do the push-ups to the song, the beat of the song. And now I'm over that. I've done that. I've built strength with my push-ups for sure. Like I actually have more strength than I've had before with push-ups. But working more so focusing on the form and then upping it. So now instead of just doing the 20, 30 second push-up a day, I want to do 10 minutes a day. So before I would do that for the video, and then I would kind of practice a little bit or do it a couple times. So that was my 2 minutes. I always say at least do 2 minutes of your new habit. So I would do 2 minutes of that. And then from that, now my next 30 days, I'm upping it to 10 minutes, which actually comes out a little bit more than 10 minutes. So a little bit less than 2, a little bit more than 10, but we're saying around 2 minutes to initially the new habit, and then 10 minutes is my next step in this. The next one after that will be upwards of 30 minutes for it. Okay, so for my 10 minutes, I'm doing 30 seconds of each movement. I have 3 movements: 30-second push-up, 30-second squats, 30-second planks. It doesn't have to be in that order. That's just the order I've been doing it in. But I do 30 seconds and then I rotate. After I finish that, I keep going and I do it about 5 times. In the midst of doing it, I don't really want to do it. I don't feel like doing it. I'm figuring out the best time. Changes, per day, depending on what I got going on. But I have my timer, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down here because I'm going to be doing some push-ups, and I'll hit the timer, start to do it, and then I'm going to rotate. So I'm just showing you my new routine, sharing it with you because I've been talking about this habit challenge, and on this channel we talk about reprogramming our mind, regulating our nervous system, which is coming back to alignment, true alignment and safety within our home. Because we beat ourselves up all the time. We absorb so much negativity. It's so much negativity in the world. It's so easy to find that. And so we should be the light in the world as well when we can. That's why I like to share my journey so you can see the ups and the downs, all the growth that comes with it. So I'm gonna get into this, and usually I like to stretch a little bit before. I've been doing that. I figured that stretching earlier in the morning helps, and then I'll do this later in the day. Right now I'm doing this earlier in the morning so I can record this, and then I can go enjoy my day and actually do some things. And so I'll stretch a little bit later and just do some recovery. I was sore after I did this for the first time. I was sore for 2 or 3 days afterwards. The first day after, I could definitely feel some soreness from the planks in my abs and also my legs from the squats, but I had already been doing the push-ups, so not really there. I train, I work, or stretch. I train, I stretch, that type of a thing. And then I'm incorporating walking as well. But again, this is not my 90-day habit challenge new habit. This is just something extra that I'm doing. But I just want to keep it simple with the habit challenge. So that's why I talk about my gut microbiome and all of that. But you can't see it, so it's hard for me to really show that, which is why I have to show me doing something physical that you can actually see. That's a new habit. And I am actually incorporating this into my life, and you're going to see my body change as well and me build more strength. You'll see the progress. Again, check out my TikTok video because I did a little, collage video compiling some of my first 30 days together so you can see a little bit of the progress. But when you're in it, it's hard to see it. So you got to step back, zoom out. And then that's why I like to document and record so that you can actually visually see the progress. That's why we track as well, so that we can see the patterns and the progress. I'm going to turn a little bit sideways here So you can see me. To get started, I'm gonna do push-ups first. We're gonna do some squats, and I'm gonna do planks. All right, here we go. Push-ups, how many I can get in 30 seconds, which, like I said, this is the most that I've been able to do ever. Just easier now because I already did it for a month and a half, pretty much. I wasn't even counting, so I don't know. I know right now I'm averaging about 13 to 15 every 30 seconds. And I switch my hands up each time I rotate, going wide and going closer together. That's 30 seconds right there. All right. Then I can also focus on my form and all of that. So I've counted how much I can do in 30 seconds already. I've been doing this for almost a week now. And so when I don't have a timer, I forget to use the timer, whatever it is, I pretty much know around about how much I can do in 30 seconds. So I just count at that point. When I had a watch, like a smartwatch, I don't wear them anymore, but when I was, it helped me get started to work out again, because it was easy to just hit the timer. I could also hit what activity I was doing. I could see it on the app too, and I could see a progress that way instead of just, doing it without tracking it any sort of way. You're not seeing progress, and it's hard every day. You gotta combat that doubt that comes up. Those things are gonna start to seep up, and we gotta remind ourselves what we're doing, why we're doing it, and then show ourselves the progress too. That's why it's so important. That's why I always talk about tracking. That's why I give you the free habit tracker in the description box, which I had to update because the first one, the numbers were off and I didn't realize. So I was crossing off my numbers, my days, and I was like, wait a second, how is this possible? And then I realized it had extra days in there. So I updated that. Again, that's in the description box. And I only have it for a month because 90 days can feel like and sound like a lot. I'm over it. That's like a minute right there. For my squats, I try and do it wide and close. I'll kind of rotate out different types of squats, but this is all body weight calisthenics that I'm doing, showing that you don't need any weights or anything, and it's just about doing it and being consistent at this point. So, and sometimes you'll get going and then you learn what's better. Like I may switch it up. This is just 3 different moves. I can switch it up to 3 other moves if I wanted to. But I'm just sticking with this for right now. These are ones that I want to do. Again, sticking with calisthenics, my body weight. The only other thing would be doing a 30-second wall hold, but as you can see, I don't have a wall. It's kind of hard to get to those trees. I could use a tree, but that's where my handstands. I want to get back to that this summer. So maybe my next 30 days, I'll really be pushing on that and share that journey as well here. But all right, plank, here we go. Can't take too long in between. I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna speed this video up and I'm just gonna run through these. Here we go, 30 seconds plank. Sucks, you don't want to do it before. Sucks while you're doing it. Doesn't feel the best. But afterwards, you feel good. You're like, I did that. And again, now we're building consistency. Now you're proving to yourself, you're showing yourself, you're establishing the new identity because you are someone who does these things. And you feel better after. And, you just carry that with you like you've already been doing it. And again, then when you're seeing physically on a tracker, you're documenting however you're doing it, you're seeing it outside of yourself as well. And you're like, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. So I know there's a fine line between telling people what you're doing and working on and people being in your business, but then also there's the other side of accountability. And if nobody knows and nobody else is there to hold you accountable, except for yourself, and you can gaslight yourself. You can make excuses. We do it all the time. And then we're also talking to ourselves negatively. So to have accountability, like showing that on TikTok, I'm doing this challenge. I didn't have to do it for as long as I did. I could have done it for that one day. A lot of people just do that. But me saying I'm gonna keep doing it, I didn't say for how long. I could have said I'm gonna do this for at least 30 days. I said I'm gonna do this until I get my push-ups right, until I can do push-ups for the whole song. And I did that. So holding myself accountable outside of myself. The thing is, we do have to do the small things first, because if I didn't stick to that, then I feel like I'm lying to myself. When I'm not sticking to it, I'm not doing it, so now I can't trust myself. And now I'm like, well, I never stick to it, so I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to embarrass myself or look crazy or stupid or whatever the words are that we're gonna now use on ourselves. Again, we're doing it to ourselves now. So that's why I say start with just the 2 minutes first initially, something very small. You can do that. You can do that, like going to the bathroom takes that amount of time. Like going to the kitchen, turning on the TV to watch a show and do all of that, you know? But again, we make excuses, but you got to push past that. And that's that discomfort that I talk about. You have to be uncomfortable for growth. Growth is uncomfortable. And we continuously seek comfort and we make up reasons why we need it, which we do. And there's certain seasons, like I said, especially if you're regulating your nervous system, there's like levels of comfort that you need to provide for yourself over a period of time, at least in 90 days. That's why I talk about 90 days, because that establishes your lifestyle, not just a habit that you can fall off from, but a lifestyle. And so you have seasons where you need to rest and be comfortable. But if you've been doing that for years now, you're building a tolerance to those things to where nothing's bringing you any comfort and like you're numb to everything, then we need to remove a lot of that and get really uncomfortable. Okay. But nobody's gonna do that but you. So here we go. Round 4. I got 2 more left. Push-ups first. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. Got this. Another reason why we start slow and small, proving to ourselves first, paying attention to habits and behaviors. But then this next one, when we're upping it, it takes a different level of willpower, a different level of commitment to it. Really doing it because you say you're going to do it and you really need this and want it. But during this stage, in this phase, it's about paying attention to the form, because we're not doing so much where like you can't, you don't have time to pay attention to all that, or you're just trying to get it done and all this. Right now, we're still working on the consistency, but we're doing that focusing on the breath. When you slow down and we're in the present moment, time's gonna go and you're not gonna realize that it's already gone. When we focus on our breath, then we can start to focus on the form, and I can pay attention to like, okay, this shoulder is a little bit lower, or like if I was doing my squats, okay, my hip kind of moves a certain way. So now I'm gonna pay attention to that. Now for this 30 days, I'm gonna pay attention to that. Then I may even watch videos on how to improve that, or what is it? What's the muscles that connect that? Okay, I need to strengthen this side muscle. So now I'm gonna lay on my side and I'm gonna lift my leg up like this and do that instead of squats, because I don't want to injure myself. And I can feel that injury coming on. So I need to slow that down. I'm not gonna not do my full 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna change what I'm doing. Maybe for my push-ups, I need to revert back to my knees to do better form on my push-ups. Whatever that is for you, doesn't mean that you don't show up and you don't commit to that time. We do. We just may need to change our form, our approach, or the movements that we're doing a little slight change in that. And it may only take you a couple days then you're gonna see improvement. Now we can go back to doing regular squats again. But it's just paying attention to those things. And while you're doing that, it takes away from the time. You're not paying attention to just the time. So we're able to make those improvements. Time's gonna go by faster. Now we're consistent with it. It gets easier, we're stronger. We can stick with it. We really do identify with this because it comes easy to us now. And when we're saying those things, it is true. We really feel it in our body. We know it, and we're feeling better because we're moving our body. Okay, whatever the new habit is for you. But we're doing it, and that gives you momentum. That's like fanning the fire, okay, doing this. So breath in form. Let me get down to my plank, and then I got one more set after this and we're done. All right, here we go. Here, focusing on my breath and making sure I'm keeping my butt down. I can't really see it. I'll go back and watch this video and make some improvements from that, but here we go. You gotta start somewhere. Here we go. That's it. 5 reps, 3 different movements, 30 seconds a piece. A little over for some of them, but we did it. High five. Hey, high five. We did it. Oh, all right. There you have it. Yeah. All right, y'all. Till next time, keep going, keep shining. Keep breathing. Okay, we have the gift of life. You can do a lot of things. We have free will. It's what you want to do with it. All right, till next time, I'm out. Y'all take care.